Hello, everybody. Anthony here. Welcome back to another Swiftie episode of the Single Parents Podcast. This is the podcast for anybody whose life may have turned out a little less than traditional. If you're watching the video version of the show right now, then you can tell I'm not in my usual setup in my living room with my flamingos. I'm actually at my parents' house, kind of chilling. That's why the couch looks so good. Definitely not my couch. Hanging out. But you can also see, if you're watching the video version of this, that I'm not alone. I have a special guest today, my one and only sister.
Hi.
What's going on? Her name's Meranda, by the way. BT Dubs. What's up? Welcome to the show. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to know about my sister. Is she a single parent? No, she is a strong, independent, single woman who's going to bring that single woman energy to the show and to something special we're going to be doing a little bit later, and I'll talk about it in a second. But kind of the gist of this episode is that, right, this is the Single Parents Podcast, but she's bringing the single, and I'm bringing the parent, so it's still going to work. It's still legit. It's still awesome. So we're still glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on.
No, I think it's good. I needed her on the show today, and we'll talk specifically why more in a second. But mostly because, not to bury the lead or anything, but in a few short hours here from now, you probably already know this by the title of the episode, but we're going to a Taylor Swift party at, I guess, like, what, a bar or something?
Yeah, it's like a bar in Reno, Midtown area, so I found it online, thought it seemed up your alley.
I mean, if it's online, it has to be legit, right?
Yeah, that's what they say, right?
That's what they say online about stuff online.
They took my money, so something better be legit.
Oh, do you think this is a scam? Hopefully it's not a scam.
Taylor Swift's a scam.
Taylor Swift is scam? You better be... Okay, so first of all, you got to be careful what you say about Taylor Swift, or the Swifties are going to cancel the show. No, we left you. We love Taylor. We stand Taylor. Do not come after me. Do not cancel the show. We love Taylor Swift on the show. But yeah, basically, my birthday, I talked about in a couple of episodes ago, was a couple of weeks ago. So my sister Meranda, she was like, hey, come down, come hang out, come visit. We'll go to this party. It'll be cool. It'll be good. And I was like, you know what? Bet I could do that because the girls, they're off with their mom this weekend. I had the weekend pretty free. I was like, you know what? I think this would be good for me for some reasons we'll talk about in a second. But before we get into all those reasons, just wanted to give a few reminders. If you want to be a part of the awesome vibe of the show going forward, there's a few things that you can do. The first thing is just to make sure you hit subscribe on the show, turn on automatic downloads, notifications, whether it be on your favorite podcast hosting platform or YouTube, whatever. Just make sure you never miss an awesome episode in the future, because literally at this point, you just never know what we're going to do, who we're going to bring on, where we're going to go. So you just want to make sure that you're all caught up. Second, make sure that you've shared the podcast. Share the podcast with a friend, with a family member, with a fellow Swiftie out there who is excited about the fact that we're even talking Taylor in general. Make sure you do that so we pass the podcast along to more people. We bring in more awesome voices on the show. And then last but not least, only do this if you think this is worthy of it and then you feel like this is legit. But make sure that if you feel cool about it, you can go and you can rate the podcast 5 stars, highest rating possible on your favorite podcast hosting platform. So that way the algorithms out there just know the show is legit and it passes along to more people. Okay, so going back to when my sister Miranda told me about this party we're going to be going to, and we'll talk more about that in a sec. But I stopped, I took a step back, and I kind of thought about the weekend and thought about, because I live about 4 hours away from my family, so I was like, okay, well, I'll have to budget, I'll have to make the trip, I got to do this, I got to do that, or I could stay home and I can do laundry and I can clean, I can do all the stuff that I usually do when the girls are at their mom's house and I need to get ready for them to come back to my house for the week. But then I was like, you know what? Here's the thing that I think hopefully is relatable to all you single parents out there. is that sometimes we get caught up, right, in the fact that we are parents and we have stuff to figure out and we got to do the laundry and the dishes and prep for the week and blah, 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 blah. So that's true and that's legit and that's reality. But being single parents, the thing that I have to often remind myself is that that's a big part of who I am and what I do in my life, but it's not like all that I am. It's not all that I need to focus on doing. I'm still an adult. I'm still single. I'm still a dude. I'm still pretty young, even though, like I said, it was my birthday a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm not an old man. I can still get out there and I can still have fun and I can still put myself out there and enjoy myself. And I think that's an important reminder that maybe you can hopefully take in and relate to as a single parent out there. If you're checking out this podcast, is that it's easy to, with all the stuff we have going on, all the stuff we have to figure out, to put ourselves on the back burner because we want to be strong moms and strong dads and Superman and Wonder Woman when it comes to raising our kids. And sometimes practically we have to just to kind of make it through. But to have the reminder that, hey, it's okay when we have the opportunity to put ourselves out there, to have some fun and just to enjoy life. And that's not wrong. That's not bad. That's not something to feel ashamed about or feel guilty about, rather. But it's actually a healthy part of life. Maybe you can speak on this. Maybe not even just for single parents, but for people in general to go out and have some fun. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool, like that you're able to take that time for yourself, especially because like you do have kids. Like you said, like I'm just single. I don't have kids of my own, but I think just as an individual, taking time like in your schedule to just kind of do that self-care, I think that's just it's really important because it's so easy just to kind of get caught up in your day-to-day, your routines, and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, you're just worn out and burned out. And especially with having kids, you want to pour into them, right? So
that's true.
Not like if you don't fill yourself up, how are you going to put what you need to into your kids and like let them see you thrive? I think that's important. To give like them something to like look to and look up to you. Like, hey, like, you know, my dad doesn't always have to be going out and doing something. Sometimes it's, you know, he'll just like chill and take a minute. Or sometimes it is good to like go out and have some fun and just get that time to yourself. And so, yeah, so I really admire that about you, that you're, you know, like you just didn't take the weekend just to, you know, do the chores that you could have done. But that you did come and hang out with me. Well, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and I'm stoked because, like, well, first of all, I think the party, wherever we're going to, starts at like 7. So I was telling my family last night that I had to like mentally prep all week for the fact that I'm going to an event that starts at 7:00 p.m. people, because I mean, you know, yeah, life goes, especially as a parent. You're 7:00. That's winding down for bed.
Well, okay,
that's,
I
like,
don't even know. Okay, as like. You say that, so maybe like I'm not just a normal single person.
Okay.
7:00 is late for me too. Like
okay, so it's not just me.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just not a typical. Because so I'm in my 20s. So I feel like commonly for people in their 20s, like you're going out, like life. Yeah. Your day doesn't start until the evening, right? Like.
True. I think that's
for
norm,
average,
maybe.
Right?
Maybe it's changed.
People I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like people still go out a lot.
Do they? I haven't gone out.
People I know go out.
I don't. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking live on the camera. When's the last time I went out?
You're old. That's what I'm saying.
I try. Oh, yes. So today, before I was getting dressed, I can't stay at my parents' house, hanging out with my family. I have my mom here. Obviously, it's her house, and she was giving me a haircut, and she like.
You got a haircut?
Yeah, you didn't know? Well, I have a hat on and I have my microphone headphones on, but I got a fresh trim, not really a full haircut, but she was cleaning me up because we're going out tonight and you never know who you're gonna meet. Maybe Taylor herself will make a surprise appearance.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know. So you just got to be ready. So anyways, I had her clean me up and she was doing the haircut thing and she had to stop Well, no, she didn't cut me up. Then I
You had a
have a
nick in your
giant,
head?
giant Band-Aid on my head. But she stopped because she knows I have gray hairs in my hair, and she's like, "You have gray
You've
hairs
had
on
those for
your
a
head."
while, though.
I've had them, yeah. And actually, I want more. I want to
You want to be
embrace the
a salt and
pepper.
pepper fox?
Yes, because I think that's ladies. Correct me if I'm
Silver
wrong.
fox, right? That's what that's called,
A
yeah.
lot of ladies are into that. I've heard the whole George Clooney thing.
But how old is he, though?
At this point, he's like, what, 50, 60,
No, I think
70?
yeah. No, maybe 60s,
No, he's not that
50s.
old. But I'll embrace it. But anyways, so I was like, you know what? I'm getting ready because we're going out and we're going to do this thing right. And we're going to bring you all with us. We're going to take you and talk about what it's like as when we get there to the party in a minute. We'll cut to that and then we'll give you our reaction after the party. But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to go all in and we're going to have a good time. And hence why my sister's on the show and why she's with me. Because I was like, you know what? Having a sister, especially in her like 20s, easy built-in wing woman.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. So what I was starting to say was, yes, I get wing woman, but I don't go out. I don't go out. I pretty much wake up, I'll work out, and then go to work and come home, and I'm in bed by 9 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is late for me too. But as I said, maybe I'm just not a normal.
Maybe
your normal 20-year-old. I'm an old soul.
Let me know, people, because now I'm curious. What is the norm these days? Is it like the norm to kind of chill earlier in the night and not go out? Are people still doing that? I don't know. Shoot us DM on their socials.
Yeah, I want to know. Am I weird or is this the new normal?
Let us know. Use the email, thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. So you said you'll be my wing woman night because I want to give myself some goal. I want some steaks to be there because I want to give the people a good experience as we go have a good steaks, like STAKES.
Oh, like
not the food. Maybe there'll be food there. I don't know. But I want.
That does sound good.
Now I'm getting hungry. I had a burrito, but that was a few hours ago. So maybe it is time to eat again. Maybe that's why you're thinking about. Are you hungry? Do you need to eat before we leave?
No, I'm good. Well, are we getting dinner before we leave?
Are we?
Well, isn't Dad making?
Oh yeah. Our dad's cooking it. Yeah. So we're good. We're covered. But thinking about tonight, you said you'd be my wing woman because again, that's what I was saying. I want to give the people. I want this to have some steaks. Some. I got to give the people a good experience as we go have a good experience. So I'm saying this on the show tonight, making a commitment that hopefully I don't regret and chicken out about in a few hours. But I want to, if it's appropriate, if I see like there's some available single ladies there, I want to at least, maybe shoot my shot, get a number or two, figure out how I can slide into some
DMs. It depends on the
DMs.
person. So you're on the apps.
I am on the apps,
yes.
Yes.
He's on the apps. And so whenever he's in town, I like to swipe just for fun on his phone.
See, yeah, that's true. I forgot
just
you
to
do
see
that.
what he's going for these days. But a lot of the ones, I don't know.
Yeah, she's very. I appreciate her because she's the one thing to know about my sister is she's very honest. She's not gonna hold back. She's gonna speak her truth. She's gonna speak the truth, and so I can know like, hey, I'm thinking about so and so, or check out this girl on my phone, or here's the girls coming up on my apps, and she's very good about being like, nope, wrong, not gonna happen, shouldn't happen. And in the moment, I'm like, but she's so cute. Look at her. Just look at it again. But then later, usually what happens is later on, when I maybe start talking to the girl, she opens her mouth. I'm like, oh, this is what my sister was talking about. I should have listened to her because she's right.
Yeah, you should listen to me.
I should, yeah.
You think he would know by now after all these years?
You would think, but hasn't sunk in quite yet.
So yes, so when we go out tonight, it'll be a live swipe coming to you.
Oh, okay, all right. So that gives me something to strive for because I think one of my big fears, I don't know if fears is the right word, but as we maybe hesitation as like a single parent, talking about this whole thing, like putting ourselves out there as single parents, making sure we enjoy ourselves, the whole back burner thing, is not getting into my head about going out and talking to people and having fun And the fact that like maybe I'll be like, oh yeah, I can go talk to her, I can do this, but like I got kids at home to think of, I got responsibilities and blah 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 blah, and all that is true and good to talk about. But like what I need to remind myself of that sometimes stops me from just going out and having fun is just the fact that hey, you can just go out and have fun sometimes. Like it doesn't always have to be, love at first sight type thing. Like I don't know.
You're not wife shopping. You're just there for a good time. I can
just go have a good time. Yeah. I can just put myself out there, and if I get rejected, then that's the good thing about.
I guarantee you that none of those people will remember because it is a bar that we're going to.
It is a bar. Yes.
And once Taylor Swift gets going.
Yes, Taylor Swift. She's a miracle worker. Hopefully, maybe she'll.
See?
We'll see. We'll find out, and you guys will find out.
Might be your
with
love
us.
Story.
It's my love. Well, I was going to sing, but I don't want to get copyrighted. Sorry, Taylor. I was not singing your music without permission.
She will come for you.
She will come for me. Yes, as we
we'll see you on the news.
As we know,
lawsuit.
Local podcaster gets sued for
singing her lyrics.
Yeah, we won't be doing that. But so. Next week on the show, little subtle tease, the people are going to hear me talking about the fact that sometimes it is okay to normalize being single. That's coming out next week. You guys can, again, subscribe. Make sure you do all the things so you don't miss that episode. But in that episode, I'm going to be basically talking about the fact that in culture and society, a lot of the times being single kind of not gets like demonized, but basically there's this pressure that some people will put on single people to get out of that stage in life in order for them to be, I'm using air quotes, like complete or fulfilled and all these things. And so in the episode, I'm going to give an example about how a young woman can show up. Young ones, sometimes feels a lot, women in particular, sometimes take this on, like especially, but like a young woman can show up and she could be like, I have my PhD, I volunteer at the animal shelter, I fix cars on the weekend, I'm going to Mars next year and all these things. But if she mentions, oh yeah, by the way, I'm single, sometimes the response to that is dismissing all those other great accomplishments and just focus on like, oh, well, let me hook you up with so-and-so, or when are you going to get married, and when are you going to do this, instead of like really asking the woman like, hey, is that like a desire that you have right now, whatever, or not even just worrying about that and focusing on maybe some of the other stuff that she's just doing. There can just kind of be that, I guess, subtle expectation that gets put on single people to get out of that stage in life, again, in order to be fulfilled and complete. And it's just, we're going to talk about it more on next week's episode, so I don't want to go too much into it. But something I've always respected about you is the fact that you are a super strong, successful, entrepreneurial person who is just, I mean, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but seems like content in her current state and has done a very good job at not giving in to some of those social, cultural pressures to move into this next stage of life that maybe you're just not that maybe you're not ready, but you're doing other stuff and you have other focus and you have other ambitions, and maybe you're saying like, if it happens, it happens. If it comes, that's cool, but I'm not going to sit up on my room and focus on the fact that I'm not married yet and let that be my whole identity. So I don't know, maybe you can speak into that for you and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm more on the side of if it happens, it happens. Like I'm not in any rush. I guess there's certain things that I look for in someone and certain things like I want in a relationship, and I'm not just going to be with anybody just to be with them, like just for the sake of having the title of being in a relationship. And I also get a lot of like people asking me like, oh, do you have kids, or when are you gonna have kids, or why don't you want kids? And it's kind of the same thing. It's not that I don't, but also I'm not just gonna have kids, just to have kids. Like I think they're a blessing and a responsibility, and I think you need to be able to take care of your kids, right, if you bring them into the world. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess, again, I'm going to talk more about this on next week's episode. But while I have you, So what would you say, and I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but what would you say to women in particular? Because I'm going to share my thoughts, but that's coming from my perspective. But it's good to have, as a woman here, what would you say to the listeners out there who might be wanting to kind of live in that same mindset of you, but who do feel the external pressures, whether it be from family or just looking on social media and seeing like, oh, my friend's engaged and they're having a baby and I'm not that. And so like, maybe I need to XYZ. What would you say to the women in particular out there who are single, who maybe are okay being single, but are still feeling a lot of that pressure from whatever it is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess like that's kind of two different questions, right? Just because are they doing it just because of the pressures, or is it because like you're saying, like they see it and like they want to have a relationship or they want to have a family? I think that's different, like because they have that desire to be in a relationship, which I think is fine. Like, you know, that's fine. Like if you want to be in a relationship, so then like maybe you do need to go put yourself out there more and actively date and stuff like that too, if that is a goal of yours. But I just wouldn't put too much pressure on it. Like I think we need to build ourselves up as individuals first, and then we can bring someone into like ourselves. But if we're just constantly searching for someone to like feel something, like that's never going to work, because another person can't complete you, you know, like you have to be complete on your own. And then another person is kind of just like a bonus. At least that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because I think that one thing I've always been striving to work on the last few years is like truly knowing myself and knowing how I function and how I relate and how I think and so on and so forth. That way, if and when I do meet somebody, I am able to make that authentic and have her feel like, okay, like I can know Anthony because Anthony knows Anthony.
Yeah.
And sure, we're all going to be on the process of growing and we change, and that's fine. It's part of life. But to say like, hey, like this is who I am, and I can be, again, authentic and safe to be myself and just put myself out there because I have that understanding of myself, versus like, well, I just got to make it work. So I'll just change to meet that person and become who that person wants me to be, or who I think I need to be. Because then you can only do that fake that for so long before the cracks start showing. And then that's usually when people get in trouble.
And then I feel like just talking about dating, like we had said before, like you're on the apps. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But I feel like you see that so much, because it's just like with the ghosting or like all that kind of stuff, or how I think like the new like attachment styles is like a thing. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
Where it's like you have your nervous attachment style, and is that right? Somebody write and tell me if I'm saying these right. Or like the anxious attachment style. Okay. So it's like there's different ones where it's like when you're feeling some type of way. I'm probably totally like not explaining this well, but if you Google it, it'll give you like a whole list of like different ways, like you just, when you're in a relationship, how like you respond to certain things. Like say you're in a relationship, right? And if the person doesn't like send you a text every day or something like that, and then you get all up in your head, like, why aren't they texting me? Like something's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And you're getting anxious about it. So like nothing could be wrong, right? But because you have, you know, like things that you need to work through, you put that into your relationship. And so like there's different ones. Like some people will pull away, like some people cling. So it's really interesting. But yeah, the apps, not really. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I feel like my experience with dating and just seeing other people and hearing their stories, I'm like, I'm good. I'll stay on the bench over here.
It helps when you have a podcast, because then, you know, every little crazy thing that happens, you're like, well, content for the show. Content. Like I shared one of my brothers is around here, and he heard the episode whatever episode ago about a date I went on with this blue-haired girl I called Ramona Flowers, and she reviewed me on Facebook and put me on Facebook instead of, well, thankfully there were nice things because I'm a gentleman, but one of my brothers, he has some strong feelings about that, and I'm like, well, good, because hopefully that at least made it an entertaining show. But like, you're right, like, it is interesting and it is out there, but I think for me, that's why I like to do so much work with myself, to where when those shenanigans do happen, I can be like, well, my whole identity's not wrapped up in, like you were saying, getting a text back right away, or if I get ghosted, it's just kind of whatever. Because number one, for my context as a single parent, I just have to be like, cool. Like, I don't have time to like stress and chase stuff down and to worry about this, because I got a couple kids to take care of. So like, we gotta keep this moving anyways. But number two, because like, hopefully over the last several years I've been doing that work, it is not saying it doesn't bum me out or it doesn't suck sometimes, but like, I'm like, all right, you know what, like, I'm good. And like you were saying, like, if this person was meant to be my person, then they would have stuck around and it would have worked. But this person's just not my person. So I can keep going out and keep having fun and keep putting myself out there and not closing myself off to possibilities.
Yeah, that's good.
Hence the party tonight.
I don't think I have the patience to deal with all that. I'm like, ain't nobody have time for that.
Well, that's fine. Well, that's why you can
That's why I just swipe on his phone.
You can swipe on my phone. You can help me. You can be my wing woman. You can be my my rep as we go out tonight. I don't know. Any more thoughts that you have? Because I think I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to see what I mean.
Yeah, you ready for Taylor tonight?
I'm ready for Taylor. I'm ready to see what's going to happen. So, all right. So next time you hear from us, we're going to be outside of whatever venue this party's taking place at, and we'll kind of give you our thoughts before we head in. And I need to go change. I can't. I mean, I could wear this. I look pretty good. If you're watching the video version of this, let me know. Do I look all right?
It's okay.
You can't see my haircut?
Not very Taylor Swift-esque.
I know I got to be on brand. Otherwise, it's not going to work, because those Swifties don't mess around.
You have to know your audience.
You got to know your audience. All right. So we're going to cut to inside of the car, outside of the venue right now. And boom, just like that, we are here in the car, in my sister's car, parked, what you think, few blocks away from the actual event. We're going to have to walk, which is good, because it'll give us a chance to stretch, get in the mindset to party and rock out to Taylor Swift. I guess I realized earlier I said we're going to a Taylor Swift party, and I didn't really elaborate exactly what that even means. I know that's kind of vague, and ultimately I kind of did that because I don't even really know what this is exactly. I know it's a party, and I know Taylor Swift is the theme, the vibe. Do you know anything else besides that?
All I know is that there's a DJ coming, and he's going to be playing all of Taylor Swift's greatest hits. And it's in a bar.
It's in a bar? Okay, yeah, well, those three things could work. We drove past it and actually still saw like a line out there, and I saw the ratio, for me at least, the ratio's looking good. Quite a few ladies and nice looking dresses. There's a couple dudes, so I wanted a nice balance to not be the only guy there, because I feel like that might be a little weird, but you don't want too many other dudes there.
But I wonder if it's like the guys that are there are the ones that are dragged there by their girlfriends, or they're just secretly Swifties.
That's what I'm hoping. I remember in college, a buddy of mine, Dylan, we signed up for a dance class at the college, because why else? We were like, hey, easy way to meet girls. You know, and that's, I think, well, maybe there's one other, but I think we were for a whole semester in a dance class with just us and about 20 ladies. Nothing happened. We didn't get any phone numbers. It didn't work, but we learned some sweet dance moves. So there's that. So I feel like this is like a kind of equivalent. So we'll go in, we'll see over under Meranda. Let's say 5 phone numbers. How many? 5. How many numbers do you think I'm walking away with tonight? Over under. You push? You're saying exactly 5?
I don't know. How confident are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like I'll know once I get in there, because I just know what vibes to match. I want to match the energy. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to be too
subdued and pushed back. I wanna just kind of fit, but I don't know what I'm walking into until I get in there. So we'll say 5, and you guys can guess right now. Pause the podcast. Guess. Most of you are saying 0. So thanks for the bout of confidence on that. I don't know. Any final thoughts before we actually head in, or should we just go?
It's gonna be a good time.
We just go. It's gonna be a party. All right. So I might do a quick update when I'm in there, depending on if I can get onto my phone, and I guess you'll hear that in a second if I can. If not, we'll give you the recap and end as soon as some guy just walked by, but he didn't even look at us. He doesn't think this is weird. Maybe this is the norm. 2024, people podcast in cars, getting ready to go places. I guess that's the thing. But we'll for sure be back in the car to wrap this show up and let you know how the party went and tell you how many phone numbers I got. So we will talk to you in just a second. Okay, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm recording on my phone because I was able to sneak out. I'm at the party right now. I think it's going good. The vibes are good. There are endless amount of ladies in there. Like, oh my gosh, as far as the eye can see, just an ocean of beautiful gals. And so I'm gonna go back in a second and make sure that I don't squander this amazing opportunity that I have. But mostly, I'm just here. Remember, we talked about on the podcast today, just to have fun. Just to get out, to put myself out there, to remind myself that I'm more than just a single dad. I'm able to go and to party and to dance. Like, do you guys hear that beat? Like, I don't know. Let's see. For the video viewers of the podcast, you can probably see behind me, like right there. You see those people going crazy? There's people going crazy in there. So I'm gonna head back in. We're gonna jam. We're gonna do our thing, and then later on, Miranda and I will kind of give you the recap for the end of the night. So yeah, we'll let you know how everything went right about now.
And we're back in the car. Party is over. It's later than I usually stay out, but that was fun. What do you think? I don't know. I'll let you go first. What did you think?
I thought it was a good time. There was a balloon drop, and I took my first drunk girl community bathroom selfie, so I can check that off my 2024 bingo.
Let's see. Oh, I'm guessing in the girls' bathroom, there's a lot of traffic, right? There's a lot of ins and outs. There's a lot of people in there.
Actually, it wasn't too bad given the venue, but
because every time I went in the dude's bathroom, it was empty as can be.
Oh, that's nice.
I was able to take a selfie for Instagram. I was able to take a nap. I was able to date. No, I didn't do all that, but it was pretty empty. There's like maybe a couple dudes. Actually, I think a couple of times, probably because they assumed that it would be empty. There was ladies in there.
Oh, really?
And so I got confused a couple of times. I was like, wait a minute. Did I walk into the wrong bathroom? Because this is embarrassing. But I'm pretty sure I saw a urinal. So I walked out and they looked at me, and then I looked at the sign and I was like, no, I was right. That was my bathroom, but they just, whatever, it was all good. But yeah, no, it was.
That wouldn't be the first time you went into the girls' bathroom.
No, wouldn't be the first time. Probably won't be the last. It's fine. It's 2024. We're flowing in and out of everything. But no, that was a good time. That was, it was awesome. So not to bury the lead or anything, but did I get a number? No, I did not get any numbers.
I tried, people. I tried.
She tried. She suggested things. So even the DJ tried a couple of times. He was like, hey, turn to the person next to you and say what's up, say you look good and whatever. But every time I turned, I was standing next to maybe one of the other few dudes in the whole venue. And I mean, I guess I could have tried harder, but I was mostly feeling bad because, as Miranda said, they did a balloon drop, and I kind of got into bopping the balloons like volleyballs. That kind of became my thing. It was kind of fun doing that whenever they come by. So I got maybe a little too into it because I hit one of the balloons backwards behind me, and I turned to see where it went to see if I can get it again, and I saw that it flew up and hit one of these disco balls that were hanging from a string from the ceiling, knocked into the string, dropped the disco ball, and the ball fell right on this girl's face. And
I think I injured her. No, I don't think. I know I injured this girl. I'm pretty sure blood was involved.
That's on the balloons
Sorry.
and the decorator and
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't get a number, but I did cause bodily harm. So sorry to that girl.
So the girl, if you're watching this, it was him, and he feels bad.
Yeah, I feel bad. That was not my intention, but oh well, oops. Like, at least she gets a little souvenir to go home to remember me by. Even though she doesn't know it was me, she'll know somebody made a disco ball fall on her face. So there's that. And then also, I think my big takeaway is that I just need to become more versed in Taylor Swift's catalog, if you will, because I knew some of the bops, I knew some of the bangers, I knew You Belong With Me. Again, I want to sing, don't want to get that copyright strike. You Belong With Me, I know Trouble, I know Shake It Off, I know some of the iconic, I guess maybe to some people they're all iconic, but I know some of the mainstream ones, but there's a lot of stuff throughout her eras that I just need to familiarize myself with. And guess I now have some homework for next year. We're coming to do this again next year, right?
Sure.
We're going to come do it again next year. But, I mean, overall, those were my takeaways. Didn't get a number. Hit a girl in the face with a disco ball. I vibed. The vibes were awesome. The vibes were good. It was one of those things where the vibes were so good, people are getting into it, that eventually it became stinky because people's deodorant started to wear off. People's breath mints and toothpaste started to wear off. So it had that like club, the nightclub, the club vibe. I don't know if you guys go to the club, but like if you just get into it, eventually it gets that BO, that odor, that smell that you get when people are going hard and going crazy.
Yep.
Haven't smelt that smell in a while.
That's when it's time to leave.
Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know, all right. It's when people's BO starts to flow, that means also the alcohol in them starts to go too. So you're like, all right, this is when craziness can happen.
So
and easy times to get numbers at this time of the hour.
When
easy.
the BO flows, you gotta go.
Ooh, put that on a t-shirt. Maybe that's our first merch drop. BO flow. I like that. But so it was good. So that was fun. And just need to get more, I guess, into the Taylor Swift universe. So next year I can come and I can sing off the top of my lungs, at the top of my lungs. That'll attract the ladies, right?
Or they'll just, or you'll just get into the gay best friend category.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta walk the balance. Again, nothing wrong with that, but like that's just not me. But like I do like to sing to the bops. So I don't know, whatever. The whole point of this was to go out and to put yourself out there and have a good time. And I feel like that's what I did. Oh, I don't know if I told you this, but like a real kind of test was put out tonight for me, kind of in light of everything we talked about earlier in the episode. The whole thing of like, hey, more than a single dad, can go out, can have fun, can be goofy, can do all the things. But multiple times throughout the night tonight, my kids were blowing up my phone. And I think they just wanted to call and say hi and whatever. And it was really tempting not to like step out and get on FaceTime and talk to them and do that and that, whatever. Like I could have, obviously, but I know they're good. I know they're safe. They're hanging out. They're probably, to be honest, they're probably just bored. And so I was like, you know what? As much as I love my kids, I'm going to see them tomorrow. I'm going to go home. I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to get prepped. I'm going to grocery shop. I'm going to get responsible tomorrow so I can spend a whole week with my kids. So I'm just going to let them... Number one, I couldn't hear them even if I did answer because the music was loud. So whatever. But like overall, I'm just going to, they can have a night where their phone calls goes to voicemail. It's not the end of the world because, again, I'm more than just a dad. I'm a dude who just needs to get down to some Taylor Swift sometimes. You think that was a good call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did you at least text him back?
They didn't text me. They just called over and over. Like I said, I think they were just bored. So I'll talk to them tomorrow.
I don't know. Can't really speak to that.
Yeah, hopefully. No, I think they're okay. They're all right. They're good.
I'm sure they're fine.
So yeah, I guess I was. It was just it was a good way. It was a good reminder for myself that like, hey, at the end of the day, you can, for one night at least, you can just have some fun for one night. Your kids will be okay. It's not the end of the world. And tomorrow we'll start the responsibilities all over again.
Yeah, once a year. I think that's all I have.
Yeah, once a
in me.
year. That's all that you have in you. Oh, okay.
Staying out late. What time is it? It's probably
It's
almost
what,
midnight.
11?
No, it's not even close to midnight. It's 11.
What time is it? It's only 11. It's not even 11 yet. I don't think 11 p.m. But for us,
That's
that's
pushing it.
we talked about this earlier. That's going hard. So
That probably explains why I'm single, huh?
yeah, lots of things. Lots of things.
Hey, well, okay. Well,
All right, all
okay.
right.
I don't.
Anyways, you know what, everybody? Well, first of all, thank you for a good night. This was, again, Miranda's treat. She took me out tonight for my birthday, and it was really fun. It was really good. I'm glad I did it. And, so I appreciate a classic brother-sister mess-around night. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was awesome. And thank you all for going along this journey with us tonight. I hope you all had a good time. And mostly, I just hope that in your own context, you remember, single parents out there, just do what you can to enjoy yourselves and to put yourselves out there and to give yourselves a break. Even if it's like, maybe it's not like a night out Taylor Swift party energy. Maybe it's like a 10-minute walk around your block, or maybe it's getting a sitter so you can go sit at a coffee shop or go take yourself to a movie, whatever it is, whatever your version of just getting yourself out there and enjoying yourself. Not that we don't enjoy our kids, not that we don't have fun with our kids, but we sometimes we just need to go and just do us a little bit. And I think you guys understand that and get that. So whatever you're able to do, I just hope that you find some time to do it. Maybe not this week, maybe you won't have time this month, but just sometimes prioritize you doing you. So that way you just don't lose your own self in the middle of all the ins and outs that we have to do sometimes. So do that and tell me what that looks like for you. Use the socials at the Single Parents Podcast on all the things. Use the email, thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what that looks like for you. And then for us, anything else that you have?
I don't think so. Guess until
go to bed.
next year.
Till next year.
Next Taylor Swift party.
Till next Taylor Swift party. Anyways, it's bedtime, way past bedtime. So we're going to go home. We're probably going to go to bed. And for you all, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. Once again, my name's Anthony. And until next time, you all out there, just stay beautiful.
Bye.